most people conform to the status quo. Most people are just drawn into the narrative and into the rhetoric that they do not let their own voice shine. They do not let their authenticity flow through. Hey guys, welcome today. I'm your host, Dionne Tweneboah, the founder and CEO of 𝐃𝐢𝐫𝐞𝐜 𝐭. And like I always say, my mission is to empower you so you can create the life and business that you so desire and you have always dreamed of. So today, what we're going to talk about is developing a brand, so a personal brand and a business brand. Like I keep saying, there is so much rhetoric, there is so much competition in the industry. All the industries are so saturated. It's very difficult to be authentic and to be your true self as an entrepreneur, because everyone is saying do A, do B, do C, do Z, and everyone is giving out so much information, telling you 1,000,001 things to do. So it's actually difficult to silence all the noises and let your voice come out. So today, that's what I want us to talk about, how to create your own compelling brand. And first of all, I want us to start with two statements: your what and how you do it statement and your why you do it statement. So your what and how you do a statement is your I help statement. So who do you help? And that's why it was important to know who your ideal client avatar is. So if you know your ideal client avatar, if you know who your target market is, if you know who your niche is, then it's easy for you to brand yourself, because then you know who exactly you're creating a solution for. You know what kinds of problems you are creating a solution for. So like I said, your what and how you do it statement is, for example, I help millennial professional women. I empower them to be able to create the life and business they desire. So that is my what I do statement. And how I do it is I do it through coaching, I do it through consulting, I do it through books, I do it through courses. So that is my what I do statement. So in order for you to have your how you do it and your what you do statement, you'd have to sit down and decide on what exactly you're going to offer. So let's say, like I said, your target market is millennial women. What exactly are you going to offer them? How are you going to help them move from point A to point B? How are you going to help them to move from their urgent needs to their compelling desires? How are you going to create a solution for them that's going to be impactful and meaningful? So that is what we're talking about today. So your who and what you do statement, that is your unique value proposition. What is unique about you and the service you provide? Why should someone come to you as opposed to all the other people there in the industry that do the same thing? What makes you different? So what is basically the icing on the cake for you? And that is what I need you to magnify more, because like I said, most people conform to the status quo. Most people are just drawn into the narrative and into the rhetoric that they do not let their own voice shine. They do not let their authenticity flow through. How are your personality, your voice, your beliefs, the things that matter to you? Let those things shine through your business. Let those things shine through your brand. Let someone who comes into contact with your brand know who you are. Let it feel like you. Let it look like you. Let it sound like who you are. Let it be authentic to you, because you're unique, and that uniqueness is very powerful. That uniqueness and authenticity is something that should be magnified rather than dimmed. Most people dim their uniqueness because they want to conform to the status quo. Most people don't want to show who they are really because they're afraid that maybe they'll lose customers, or they would be going against the norm and they might not be favored upon or something like that. But today I want you to know who you are, and then I want who you are to be seen in your brand. It should be seen through everything. Most people think of branding and they just think of maybe the logo or the colors or the fonts or maybe the website, but branding goes beyond that and it goes deeper than that. Branding is the voice, the tone. If I come to your website today, what is the tone that the content there is written in? If I go on your social media platform today, not just the colors, but what's the message that you're sending across? Is it in line with who you are as a person? Is it in line with your vision for your brand? Is it in line with the vision for the business? That should all be in sync, and that should all be in line, and that is what branding is about. So your what you do and how you do it statement. That's your unique value proposition. It takes a while for you to get there. And now that you're starting your business, you might not know exactly what your target market is, or exactly what your niche is, or exactly who your ideal client avatar is. You might not have all that information down yet, but the workbook attached is going to give you a couple of prompters. It's going to give you an idea, a broad idea to know how to go about it. So your how you do it and what you do statement. Then the next thing I want you think about. So an example of that is, let's say you're an entrepreneur. So maybe you offer healthy foods. So your how you do it and what you do statement will be, I help women live a healthier life. How? By offering them either a diet plan or a meal plan, or maybe courses or resources on how to source for nutritious foods and how to prepare nutritious foods and how to eat healthy. Whatever it is you do, that is your unique value proposition. I want you to add that, and I want that to be seen in your brand. So that is the what you do and how you do it statement. So the next thing is your niche statement. So your niche is whoever it is that you help, and what do they desire? Who desire XYZ to gain ABC? So for example, my niche is millennial women who desire to start and scale their own businesses to gain clarity, focus, confidence, and personal freedom. So who you help, what you help them do, and the ultimate goal or results they get from working with you is the 3 parts of your niche statement. And the workbook attached would give you guidance on that as well. So like I said, so my niche is busy professional women who desire personal high performance coaching to gain clarity and focus. So that's an example of a niche statement. Whatever you do, whoever you serve, and whatever you help them to get, or the results you help them to get, is your niche statement. So your why you do it statement. Why do you do what you do? Your essence of having a business should be more than money or income. It should be for impact. It should be for influence. It should have a meaning to you. So why do you do what you do? For me personally, I do what I do because I believe my purpose is female empowerment. I believe I was born on this earth to let women, and anyone else actually, but mostly women and girls, to believe that their dream is possible. I found out this through a couple of things, to be quite honest, because I realized at a very young age that when I saw women who were financially dependent, or women who were not financially independent, and women who were actually dependent on other people for their livelihood, it was a bit nerve-wracking for me. And one story that I believe really struck me was, I was an intern in a law firm, and then a woman came with her daughter. Her daughter had been abused by a relative of her husband's, and then she came to press charges. So we took up the case, we informed her of her rights, we educated them, and then we decided, the lawyer I was working with at that time decided to take the case. But a couple of days later, the woman came back and she wanted to withdraw the case. We couldn't withdraw it, obviously, because at that time it was between the state and the perpetrator. But then the lawyer was curious, and she actually asked, why do you want to withdraw the case? You came here crying that someone had molested your daughter, and then it was true. We found out that it was true, and then we brought a case against the perpetrator. Why do you want to come back and sort of rescind what you have said? Why do you want us to drop all charges? And the explanation she gave literally broke my heart. She said that the perpetrator was a relative of her husband's, and her husband had threatened to divorce her and kick her and her 5 children out of the house, and she had nowhere to go. She had no means of supporting her children, so she had to drop the charges. And at that point, I think I was about 17 or 18, but at that point I remember just asking myself, what if she had her own source of income? What if she wasn't financially dependent on this man? What if she had created the life and business that she had always dreamed of? Would she come back today to say that she wants the perpetrator of her daughter to go scot-free? I didn't think so, and you might probably agree with me. And at that point in my life, I decided that I wanted to, 1, know how I could be financially independent, and 2, to teach people when I know how to be financially independent as well. So that is my story. That is my why. What is your story? What is the reason why you want to get into the business? What is the reason why you want to offer the solution you want to offer to your ideal clients and your target market? Why do you want to do it? Why do you not want to be like everyone else? And why do you want to have something unique about your product or service? So that is what this question is going to answer. So who you are at the core. Like I said, my mission is female empowerment, and my story is one to empower women. Like I just said, that's one of the stories that really impacted my life, to see a woman who was financially dependent on a man, and because of that, she had to let go of charges. I mean, by God's grace, we were not able to drop the charges because we were already started. But imagine if we could. The perpetrator of her daughter would have gone scot-free just because she was financially dependent on someone. So why do you do what you do? It might not be as emotional as my story. It might not be as deep as my story. Whatever it is, maybe it brings you joy to see people living their best lives. It brings you joy to see people living a healthy life. Or maybe you've gone through something before and then you realize that the opposite was a much better situation. Like I have a client who does credit repair, and then she does credit repair because her credit was so bad at some point that she decided to learn how to make her credit better, and then she just thought about teaching other people. And it brings her joy to see that people can repair their credit and to create the life and business that they always dream of. So what is unique about you? Because you definitely have something unique about you. Most of us don't even think about how unique we are because we are so busy trying to conform with what society has told us to do. And we're so busy copying people, so busy being in competition with people, instead of knowing who we are, knowing our purpose, knowing our power, and owning it. Most of us, some of us know, some of us don't. But even those who know, some of us, it's difficult for us to own it. Like, own your power, own your uniqueness, own your authenticity, your greatness, own it. So that's what today's exercise is about. So your what and how you do it statement, what you do, how you do it, and the results people get from working with you, and your why you do it statement. What is your story? What is your unique value proposition? What makes you unique and what makes you you? And those two are the elements of a solid brand, a solid personal and business brand. A business brand is just an extension of a personal brand, to be honest, because the core values that you as the entrepreneur or you as the business owner hold dear are the ones that will translate into the business. If you value, let's say, for my example, I value female empowerment, and I translate that into my business through our values, through our strategies, through the impact that we are making, through our influence, through our branding, through our message. Everything about my personal values, everything about my core beliefs is translated into the business. That's why this is so important for you to do, to know who you are, what you do, your unique story, and why people should work with you as opposed to everyone else. Like I said, the industry today is super saturated. So why should someone choose you over all the other people there? Why should someone choose your service or your product over all the others that are there? And most people say because of the price. Price is a good indicator, but price is not an indicator of your authenticity. It's not an indicator of your greatness. It's not an indicator of your uniqueness. Let someone come to you not necessarily because you're the cheapest, but let someone come to you because they resonate with what you value. They resonate with your beliefs. They resonate with the influence you're creating. They resonate with the impact that you want to make. Or they see you as an authority in their lives because you can create a change, a lasting change, a reformation, a transformation in their lives. So guys, that's it for today. Do not let someone's opinion of you become your reality. You have the power to define your reality, and you have the power to create the life and business that you have always dreamed of. Never give away that power. I believe in you, and I know that you are destined for greatness. So guys, see you